Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, HiFi Rush, the game that everyone was talking about there for a while. It was being hyped up to me as a game I had to play. Everyone was like, dude, this game's amazing. I don't know if it was just my circles, but everyone I knew was very excited. Except now I'm being told that HiFi Rush wasn't the high five and success that everyone thought it was, and actually came up short. For those of you that need a refresher, HiFi Rush is the rhythm-based action game shadow dropped by Tango Gameworks back in January. And if you've seen the heated Xbox flames being fanned on social media lately, this is why. Jeff Grubb of GameSpot's sister site Giant Bomb discussed HiFi Rush on his Game Mess Decides podcast. Based on what I've heard, it just straight up didn't make the money it needed to make, he said. I mean, it got good reviews, the buzz was good, so where do you put the blame for something like that? Is it the price? Was it the shadow drop? Could it have sold more? Is it Game Pass? But shortly thereafter, Aaron Greenberg, vice president of Xbox Games Marketing, replied to this claim and shared, HiFi Rush was a breakout hit for us and our players in all key measurements and expectations. We couldn't be happier with what the team at Tango Gameworks delivered with this surprise release. So this brings us to that fun he said thing where, who do you trust here? The PR guy or the dude on a podcast who's like, I have sources? Both are probably not giving us the full picture here, but the question should be, what qualifies as a success then? Especially for Xbox and HiFi Rush, given the factors of the shadow release and the digital only and Game Pass. Was it worth it for them? Maybe. Some people might complain that it didn't sell as much as they wanted it to, versus maybe it still sold a lot. You know, we've had this in the past where a company was like, it didn't meet our expectations, but it still sold 4 million copies, right? And it's like, what the hell were your expectations? And I think that's a problem in the games industry as well. This is one of those things that we really won't know more information unless Xbox shadow drops something else, or gives us more information and more details and stats on HiFi Rush. Honestly, I'm down for shadow drops. Keep it coming, and let's just compare. How do they relate when it comes to building hype? Maybe they saved money not generating buzz and releasing 1 million trailers and putting out advertisements. Maybe it was the smart way to go for them. I don't know. I guess we'll find out more as time goes on. Speaking of finding out more as time goes on, last week, you remember we covered a story about a Warcraft producer complaining online that it's really hard to keep Blizzard talent. Well, it looks like over on IGN, our frosty corporate overlords had something to say. We reached out for comment on this. A Blizzard spokesperson said that creating crisis maps is not a team practice for WoW. However, making decisions around priorities, iterating, and ensuring quality are everyday parts of game development. Now, you probably noticed something right off the bat, and we'll get to that in a minute, but crisis mapping, if we're going to take it back to that, if you don't know what that is, crisis mapping is looking at all the data, all the information, and analyzing it pertaining to a crisis. So an earthquake, or a famine, or tornado, whatever. And then you analyze the data and determine what you can achieve to help reduce the trauma of those events. Or in this case, with Blizzard, reduce the trauma of hemorrhaging staff. And now back to the hilarious thing I'm all sure you noticed about Blizzard's response. They went hard in on, we do not do crisis mapping, but they never said a word about losing talent. It was like, guys, it's important to remember, no crisis mapping, as there's like people with boxes filled with their stuff leaving in the background. And honestly, if they're not doing it, I really think Blizzard should be crisis mapping, because right now, they need all the help they can get, especially if they're not going to listen to employees' criticisms. Maybe cold, hard facts and data are what they need to see that things need to change. Anyway, it's Monday, so that means it's time for new releases. This Wednesday, get ready to dive into the dream world with Desta, The Memories Between. In this cozy strategy game, players compete in tactical dodgeball-inspired matches, all while exploring the reflective narrative journey about dreams and regrets. Originally released on iOS and Android, Desta, The Memories Between is now hitting PCs and the Nintendo Switch this week. I remember seeing this game last year. It is so creative and fun. I love turn-based strategy, so this is one to pick up on April 26th. And then, of course, on Friday, the highly anticipated sequel to Jedi Fallen Order finally hits physical and digital shelves. Jedi Survivor continues Cal Kestis' journey as one of the last surviving Jedi as he fights to stay one step ahead of the Empire's pursuits. Players can look forward to new characters, new lightsaber stances, massive open world segments. I'll be honest with you, I'm eager to play with the boys, ready to jump back in and give it the old Cal Kestis trademark Jesse look. So get ready to become one with the Force on the 28th. Anyway, that is it for me. Thanks so much. If you want to see more of this mug and playing games and whatnot, head on over to Cox Clips. We've got all sorts of fun stuff over there, from shorts to long form videos, the whole thing. If you're like, where's the gameplay, Cox? It's over there. Anyway, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.